Tate McRae, welcome back to Australia.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. I feel like you got the full Australian experience yesterday. You, back of a ute, in a car park, fans around you. What was that like, just being at the top of, on top of the city and just seeing all these people around you there to hear some new music?
It was so fun. It was our first ever pop up ever. Also my first time ever playing unreleased music for fans. So it was, we were so nervous. Like all of us dancers were in the car, what if no one is there?
It's just you guys hanging out.
Yeah, it could have been. There could have been 2 people. So I was happy. It was fun.
Obviously, Two Hands has been doing the rounds, but what was kind of the reaction you could gauge of some of the brand new music that was being played out?
It was honestly so interesting because obviously my friends have their favorites and I have my favorites, but it's crazy because all the things that feel old to me feel new to them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple songs, I played a song called Revolving Door, and I love that song, but I was I don't know how people are gonna react, and they loved it. It's so interesting to see the reaction so far.
Who's kind of who gets the pick to be on your board of directors, your friends who you do take your music to?
Oh, very few people. I usually play it for my boyfriend, play it for my best friend Finn. There's a very few couple, my managers, my mom and dad, and my brother, and we wrap it up there.
Is there anyone you go to where you're just kind of if you're not vibing with it, then I know that I'm onto something?
I feel opposite. When if my best friend Finley isn't vibing with it, there's something wrong with it. Because he's just a dancer. Whatever feels good.
That's so true.
He just he feels it. And usually if it's not my best work, he'll tell me. So
how much does that kind of come into it when you're making music? How much does that bodily feeling kind of happen where you're I could dance to this, or I could already see the choreography to this one?
A lot of the time, now I feel I feel the beat and I'm oh, this is sick. I want to perform to this. But yeah, a lot of it comes to life when we choreograph it. I would have never seen the song like this. But yeah, I feel I have a good sense for rhythm as a dancer.
So this also comes with some really exciting news. You've announced your new record, So Close to What. We've already gotten a couple of singles, but Two Hands has really galvanized this project. Why did you want to lead with these first 2 singles?
Well, I had a very specific visual vision for It's Okay. I know that I wanted to start this new era by premiering an unreleased song at Madison Square Garden. It was my first big arena show as headlining it. So I was I need to do something special for this moment. I love New York, and so then we did this whole dance. We learned it the day before, and it was this 2000s-esque. The music video was so pop for me. Everything that I've watched from when I was younger, in a bottle, that video, I feel and so that was really important for me to bring my whole dancer side out fully for that. And then Two Hands, I honestly just love the song, and it's my first time writing a love-ish song, so I feel it's cool. I'm really excited for fans to hear it.
I saw the comments on TikTok just being oh my God, finally a love song, a happy song.
They've been waiting for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it about this project, about this next era of Tate McRae, that you kind of wanted to funnel into this music?
I feel just as a woman, I've grown up so much. I've also just experienced things for the first time as a girl that I've always heard about, that girls have talked about, and I've never actually felt it until age 21. And I feel I'm now in my body and feeling what it feels like to be a woman for the first time, and that has really influenced my writing. So a lot of these songs have a very deep emotional meaning for me, because I feel these were some emotions that I didn't even know existed. Wow. I've written about heartbreak before, I've written about love before, I've written about friendship breakups, and lots of young juvenile feelings, and it felt for the first time I'm oh, I feel an adult. I feel older for once.
What do you think were some of those first times that you were tapping into?
I think honestly just being a woman on social media and having my body out there and putting out my art and seeing how people receive it has been really interesting. Also just being in the public eye. I feel that's affected a lot of these songs, and just yeah, I feel for the first time I've also just figured out who I am as a person, like officially, and know what my values are and what I want in life.
Totally. And,
Yeah.
you've mentioned some of the visual references as well. You were born in the noughties. Can you remember the very first, pop, girly music video moment, or maybe even an album cover or an awards show moment that stuck with you? What's the thing that blew young Tate McRae's mind?
I mean, I kind of grew up with like Disney Channel.
Very true.
Because I was born in 2003. So like all of the Christina and Britney of it all, like that was happening when I was like age 0. Yeah. So I mean, I was literally a baby. But I grew up on like Ariana and Selena and Taylor, and I remember watching them at like the VMAs and the Grammys, and those being like big moments for me. Like I like remember like Selena's first cover art for like Revival, or like when Ariana did the a cappella version of Dangerous Woman. Like there's moments like that I have like ingrained in my brain from, I think, like my era.
But I love that, even though you were just a twinkle in your parents' eye, you've got those noughties, 90s references down.
Of course.
Yeah. You are someone who spends a lot of time in the studio. Even the last time we chatted, it was during the Hottest 100. It was like Jan 2023. And you literally beamed into the show from the studio. You said, I'm doing some writing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of music here in the tank. How do you decide what goes on this next record?
Well, I think this is like a big part of me being like a Cancer, is I'm like the most indecisive person ever. Like this is that picking the songs and choosing the set list is the most excruciating process with me, because I'm just like, I change my mind every 4 seconds. Like I could hate the song, I could be like, this is the best song ever, and it like flips like each day. So I feel bad for anyone who has to watch me pick my songs.
So what's the final deliberation? How do you really get to those final tracks?
I think you just kind of go through it and be like, well, what would my dream album be? And which one is like kind of mediocre to me? Like if you kind of like see the ones that like feel a little like not it, and then you kind of like eliminate them, and flow wise too. You kind of want different stories and perspectives.
Yeah.
So
you've been on the Think Later World Tour, and you've mentioned your dancers. You mentioned Finlay, who is such a huge part of, I guess, your day to day. How important is that chemistry between you and your dancers before you even get on the stage?
It's so important.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the whole show. Like to me, I think that dancers are the most highlighted and part of the show, and also bring it to life. So I think that they're very important for me to highlight in my show, just because it's so centered around dance and movement. They're like the best. Like they're so talented. I look up to all of them, and just good people. But we have a great morale. Like, I mean, like we're all best friends. It's so fun.
If you could all be on a reality TV show, what setting do you think you would thrive in?
Like literally put us in a room and it would be the most entertaining show.
I'm thinking Big Brother house or something like that.
It is terrifying. You walk into our dressing room and it is scary. Like what happens? Like it is the biggest array of personalities. Like it is quite frightening. Yeah.
You also have moments where you let people in on Soundcheck.
Yeah.
What's it like kind of seeing those extremities of your fans being like this loud screaming bunch, but also this reverence that they give you as well?
I mean, Soundchecks are really funny for me because I literally just like answer questions and then do a couple covers. But I feel like it's good because it kind of reminds me of like when I used to do YouTube, and that feeling of just being very, very intimate and close with my fans. And we still have that relationship. I feel like they've grown up with me since like middle school. So it's really refreshing to have that moment and then have like the full pop moment on stage. Because I feel like my aura on stage is very different from my aura in real life. So it's a good switch, so it doesn't feel so drastic. Like they feel like it's still just us.
Yeah, they know you.
Yeah.
What is the question that your fans ask you the most, you reckon?
Pretty like simple questions. Like like they're like, what's on your tour rider? Or like, if you could collab with anyone, who would it be? I'm like, I feel like people, what do they ask? They always ask like, what's on my playlist? Like nothing crazy.
Well, now I want to ask you all those questions, but I will pick who would be your dream collaboration?
Right now it'd be SZA, I think. Yeah.
Stop, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I love her. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
How could you envisage that collaboration playing out?
I have no idea. I would just let her do whatever she wants. I'm like, she's amazing.
With this record, you said you've been really focused on the production and then you've been working with producers who have just really brought out like an admiration in you.
Yeah.
Can you give us any details on who you have been working with this record on?
I have a couple songs with Emil Haney, who I've been wanting to work with for so long. He's done like lots of songs for Lana and Kanye, and he's like literally just unbelievable. And just getting to work with him in the studio has been such a cool process. I mean, every sound or sonic that I've tried to explain to people over the years, that's his sonic.
Yeah.
Like that's his sound. So everything he like played me, I was like, this is perfect. And so a couple of the songs just feel like exactly what I wanted sound wise and feel wise. So it's very cool.
What is that kind of mood board sound-wise and feel-wise?
My references are all over the place. Like they're pretty dark. I feel like I don't like too many like happy songs. I feel like it's pretty dark, and like there's some rap songs that I reference. There's lots of like sometimes I'll actually just put on like 3-minute tracks with like no words, just like sounds. Just like it's like the texture that I want. And lots of them have like hints of sadness behind it, but are like kind of hard feeling too.
I'm just imagining you in a room in your industrial era, just kind of
Oh my God,
these sounds on.
Literally, it's so annoying. I'm like, I need it to be like a rap song, but I need it to sound like I'm gonna write a country lyric, and then like they're just like, what are you fucking talking about?
But it sounds like he gets it. It sounds like he's in your head.
Yeah, a lot of the producers I worked with this time, and also Ryan Tedder, I feel like just knows me so well now and knows what I like, so it's very fun.
Can you give us one final little clue or something to think about or a little tidbit as we kind of go into this next phase? Something about this record that might surprise people or get them thinking.
I always give such bad explanations when I'm trying to describe a new project. I feel like it is a lot more mature for like my music. I think I don't know, some of the songs feel like I don't know how fans are going to react, but they are like a bit more of my perception of how it feels like with my relationship with the media and relationship with my fans, which is also something I haven't really talked about before. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
How are you feeling about that relationship with the media and, you know, that kind of like access that people have to you? I know that's probably a huge question and you'll explore it on the record, but
some days when I'm doing performances, I love it. And I love to put on a show and have like all eyes on me. And some days it's like the most terrifying thing ever. Because also like I am a 21-year-old girl who has insecurities and am thinking the exact same thing that you are. So it's like always weird when you have someone like talking about your body online and talking about your face and picking it apart, because you're just like, I am a person. Like I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl going through all of these exact feelings that you are. So like the fact that you're talking about it is, I know, like it's like that constant conversation of just like, why are we talking about women's bodies? And the video is talking about a woman's body. It's just like, it's very interesting sometimes.
It has been such a big year for you. What would be something that you'd want to relive from this year?
I would relive my Toronto show, which was my first Canadian date after like a lot of stuff has happened. It was to 16,000 people and I cried and it was just very special. I would relive Madison Square Garden because that was just like one of the biggest milestones of ever. I've just been dreaming of that for so long and wrote that in my diary about a gazillion times, and then it happened. And I was like, I can't believe that happened.
Oh my gosh, manifesting.
Yes.
What do you think you're manifesting next?
Well, my journal, no.
I know. I'm trying to get in your journal.
Lots of things. Manifesting doesn't work if you tell it.
That's very true.
It's true.
Shh.
Exactly.
No more. Well, I hope the Australian tour has been a highlight for you as well.
Thank
Tate
you.
McRae, thank you so much for chatting to us at Triple J.
Thank you so much.